how did I start in the rap game, in the hip hop game?
Right.
Man, it was pretty much a long journey. I'll take it back to when I was in college, up at El Camino College. Uh, I was pretty much, I was, a psychology major, electronics minor. I just graduated from high school. I was high ranking officer in ROTC. So I was on my way to the military, to be honest. So I wanted to enter into the military as an officer. So I needed to go to the college first. And so that's where I was, starting my, going to college, trying to be a fighter pilot kind of deal.
Wow.
And so while I was in college,
Right.
I was always writing poetry and stuff like that. And my English teacher, she was like, she's like, I read over a lot of your stuff, and she's like, man, it sounds really amazing. She's like, you're an amazing writer. And I was like, I guess, because I didn't really think I was that great of a student. You know what I mean? So I was
Right.
like, oh, okay. And so then, like I kind of met up with this guy, Robert Tillis, who's also known as The Rhythm. If you Google it, you can check some of his YouTube videos, old school stuff, right?
Right.
But he was a homie of mine, and we were always writing rhymes together. And he wanted me to start, writing for him. And so I did. I was writing a lot of different songs. We had a song called Ended in Bones and all kind of shit. And then one day he was like, yo, man, I want you to meet up with, I want you to meet my girlfriend's brother. Because he's a beat producer and he's got mad dope beats. And I was like, oh, shoot, all right, cool. So he took me to meet Jay Swift. And so after meeting Jay Swift, we kind of, started working with Jay Swift, and Jay Swift was at SCU, which was run by Reggie Andrews, who is, he produced like Patrice Rushen and executive produced some Rick James stuff, and he was in the Daz band, so he had, he was pretty, that's what we learned, how to be producers and musicians.
Right.
And so that was like the start of it. And I was writing, like singing songs for girls. I used to write a lot of singing songs for girl groups and stuff like that when we were at SCU. And that's just how I got my legs as far as producing and rapping and stuff like that. And during that time, we were battle dancers.
Right.
So myself and Imani had met up with Robert Vincent. And Robert Vincent does dance work with Janet Jackson and Romai. So Romai, Robert Vincent, and Imani, and Miguel and Brent, they were all in this crew called GTI, which is they was the best dancers in LA, man, smoking everybody. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we used to go out and battle other crews. Dance wise, because that's how we would make our money, dancing in people's videos and dancing on In Living Color. So we had to audition for that with Rosie Perez, and
Right.
and so we got that gig. Fatlip was he was a solo artist at first.
Right.
His name was Jammer D. And since he was around us all the time, he came to SCU to start working on his solo record, and so we'd all kind of grouped together. We felt like we were like doing a lot of different kind of like showcases for different record labels,
Right.
like all the time. That's all we did was practice and rehearse to showcase for record labels. And during that time, like record labels was coming out and they was seeing us or whatever, but they wasn't really like, they had their own shit going on,
Right. Right.
And so we did so many of them that we had gotten tired of like kind of doing the same shit. And so we stopped giving a fuck about, we didn't give a fuck. We were just doing us at that time.
Right.
And so we formulated a crew called Beat Junkies,
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we did one more showcase for Reggie Andrews, and it was in front of some big people, some big folks. And but we just really didn't give a shit at all. So we did it, we killed it, and then we kind of did like a little fuck you thing to the whole So the whole whoever was sitting there was just like, we did our thing. It was like, fuck y'all, we out.
Right.
And so we bounced out. And at that time, we formulated, Pharcyde, because we just put Fat Lip on the team,
Okay.
and we started. We
Mhm.
Yeah, we put Fat Lip on the team, and we started recording together. And so we recorded the song called Your Mama. We recorded Officer, and we recorded Passin Me By.
Okay, and it's all that now, you know, is all that ending up coming out on Delicious Vinyl?
Yeah. So the way that we got to Delicious Vinyl was this part of the story, which um, Imani, Romai, and Fatlib went to the Gavin convention in San Francisco, and they met up with Razzcazz, and Razzcazz um, took them to this guy Paul Stewart, and Paul Stewart was responsible for like um, Montel Jordan, and he was with Coolio, and a lot of stuff like that. And Paul Stewart wound up reshopping us, and getting us to deal with Delicious Vinyl.
Okay.
So like that's how that all curved around.
And what
Because
year? Do you remember what year was that?
probably like 90.
90, around that
Yeah,
time.
because I think we got our deal in 91,
Right.
and we got our deal like in probably like 90 or 91, something like that. But right after that, we started recording, and then our record, Bizarre Rise of the Far Side, came out in 1992. So we was heads in hardcore that whole 91 year,
Right.
making the record. So it was a crazy journey, but I think it was healthy for us to go through the things that we did, because it shaped us into being the Far Side. To be honest, we had to, because like when you're doing showcases, you want to bring your best to the table, hoping that people like what you're doing, and probably they don't give a shit, or they might give a shit, or it's just like us going to a party and we sitting down listening to a DJ and he's doing his thing. All right, cool, and it becomes background music. So that's what like showcases can tend to be, unless you really wow them with something, and you don't know when you're wowing them or not. And everybody has their own choice or feeling about what they can do with a project. As producers, you and me, we know.
Right.
If I hear somebody's vocal tone, I'm like, oh yeah, that works, or nah. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 I
And
definitely
so,
know what you're saying.
I'm not even mad at the people that turned us down. It's like, they know what they can do with what's in front of them. And I think the best place for us at the time was Delicious Vinyl, because back in the day, it's like the bar was extremely high,
Yeah.
and you can get on a label and get shelved,
Right.
and they don't put you out at all, but you got a deal. And that's not, we wasn't with that shit. And we were smart enough, thanks to Reggie Andrews, we were smart enough to know the terrain of how to read situations,
Right. Right. Delicious Vinyl, for y'all people, that they're the one that put out Tone Loc, Young
Brand New
MC,
Heavies.
Brand
Hmm.
New Heavies, and the Brand New Heavies project as well, that with the various artists,
Exactly.
back in the days. Yeah. Just so
Yeah.
y'all
And
know
that,
y'all history.
yeah. And that was, what, speaking of that record, Heavy Rhyme Experience, that was one of the main reasons why. First off, Brand New Heavies was a major reason.
Right.
But the Heavy Rhyme Experience with all those heavy hitters on it, that was great for us to come out along with them. And we sound mad different than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because those guys we really looked up to. We looked up to New York heavily, man, because we wanted that sound. That was hip hop. It was in our heart like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we wanted to jump in and, on a respect level, respecting hip hop first and foremost, respecting the founders, the foundation, all of that. And I think that's how every MC should step into the game, to be honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we had mad respect for it. We did our thing. We did our best. We had fun, and it just turned out that motherfuckers was really loving what we did,
Right.
and that was cool. That was a blessing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And one of my favorites is Passin Me By.
Oh
And
yeah,
everybody's favorite, you know?
yeah.
What's Talk to us about that song, man.
Well, "Passing Me By" was one of our older songs from Bizarre Ride to the Far Side.
Hmm.
And how that song came about is, we would always be at SCU hanging out on the front lawn. And every day, like be it early morning or early morning traffic or afternoon traffic, it was more kind of like an afternoon traffic kind of situation because the cars would be like kind of gridlock moving slow because they needed to go from this channel to the freeway. And every day we'd be like sitting down watching the girls go by. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like, that was the scenario, and all of our brothers, the GTI brothers was out front, far 2 for 2, all of us, LAJ, we was just chilling because we was all homies. And so that's, that was the nature of our life is, sitting, watching the girls go by in traffic or, while we're getting ready to, practicing our stuff, taking a break outside either from recording or from dancing in the living room to practice for, different videos that we were going to be in or whatever.
Right.
So that's where Passing Me By was kind of coming from. And then just like your dealings of you out at the club and, dealing with girls and how they can be or, if they into you, they into you. If they not, they play you. You know what I'm saying? Kind of
Right.
deal.
Right.
And, what's your stance on being played? You know what I mean? You just got played. You know what I mean? So you got to,
Right.
you got to play. You got to suck it up and keep it pushing without being a jerk. You know what I mean? So it's life is like fun like that. And so that's kind of like the root of like Passing Me By. You know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
you do get lucky, like be a good dude. You know what I mean? Don't be a jerk dude. You know what I mean? Because like the precious elements of our world is women. You know what I'm saying? From our mothers to our sisters to our aunts and grandmas, to our girlfriends, like we got to treat them right. We got to do them good. So that's why that was a good area of conversation or talking about stories through the song "Passing Me By."
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. But then,
Yeah.
like the music side of it all is pretty much like Romai and Jay Swift used to kind of go into Reggie Andrews' garage where he had like a record collection. And so they would always pull through a lot of these records and Pass Me By is actually 2 songs that we combined to make 1 song,
Right.
and then, so Pass Me By would like the loop of it would just be playing in the studio all day.
Right.
And we would like, I'd be laying down, writing lyrics in the, where we would do our choreography and stuff. So I'm like by the mirrors, me and Imani writing our lyrics and stuff like that. Our side of the story. Romai was probably up on the top shelf of this closet area, like while the music is looming. Fat Lip is, walking around sitting in the chair, and everybody's coming with their parts of their verses, And then, I remember Romai saying, it was like, she keeps passing me by, and we're like, yeah, that's perfect, And so next thing you know, you hear Fat Lip in the room singing, "She keeps on passing me by. Da-da-da-da-da, she keeps on passing me." And so he closed the door and recorded. And so he recorded that down. And then so I went in the room and I listened to it. And then I put up the "Me by."
Right.
And she keeps on just add like color to it. So it wasn't so blanket. He didn't know I didn't know, we didn't know he was going to do that. And then he didn't know I was going to do that. And then all the parts just started building itself.
Just that building. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Jay Swift gets back in there and just starting, like to formulate it all together.
Yeah.
LAJ was always around to make sure our production was good because he had produced The Good Girls and he had other production stuff that he did So he was always around to make sure our shit was fine tuned. And then when we were on mix day, so we have like a lot of mutes and stuff where the music dropouts and stuff like that. So just imagine like it was myself, LAJ, and Jay Swift, and probably one other person on a 24 track or 48 track board, making sure that we're muting
Yeah,
parts.
mutant. Yeah, the
Because
mutant days.
yeah, because we didn't have that automation, so
Automation.
we had to do these takes by hand.
Yep, I remember. I
So we had to line everybody up. So the beautiful thing about the older music, it was really organic, and
yeah that
it really took manpower to make it happen. And so when people listen to Pass Me By, they have no idea how much went into making that. And as I'm talking, I'm getting like hairs like raising on my arms and shit, same chills that I got when we was making it every time all the way through. Pass Me By was a hit before we even knew it was a hit. It
yeah
knew it knew
some
it
songs.
knew it
Yeah,
was a
like
hit.
that. Yep.
Yeah, it knew it was a hit, and we was just coloring by numbers, man. My hairs are standing up. We was coloring by numbers, and that said, it's like I give an honor to the universe and the Orishas and the God above. We was meant to do it. It was meant for us. It was already a hit.
Right.
And the thing about it is, we're glad that we were chosen to be a part of that, and the universe blessing us plentiful for this long and continuing to go. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thanks to Quincy Jones. Thanks to everybody that made that happen.
Right. Right.
What's really crazy, dude, is that same song or that same track with another MC crew doing it won't be the same song. It
Definitely.
won't have. It will not have the same effect. And
Okay.
that's crazy. It's crazy how, like, you listen to a lot of songs that are out in the world. I don't know. It just depends. It's the crew.
Yeah, man, it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. But like I said, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. We were blessed.
Right on. Yeah, the song "Drop." How did that came about?
The way Drop came about was, first of all, when we went to New York and we were making the second album, Lab Cabin, California, we met up with Q-Tip. And Q-Tip was supposed to produce some stuff with us on the record, but he got too busy with Mobb Deep. And so he was like, look, I got this cat. I want y'all to meet him, but I got this tape and y'all can come to my crib and we can listen to these beats. And we did. And when we were listening to the beats, we got Running out of that. We got Bullshit out of that. We got, oh man, he had so much stuff, and there was Drop. And Drop was that, whoo, Drop was that fire. So if it wasn't for Q-Tip, there wouldn't be no Drop. Because Q-Tip introduced us to Jay Dilla. You know what I mean? So
Right.
once we got that all recorded and done, then when it came time for the video to happen, since we had the sample of Ad Rock in it, doing the drop stuff, Spike, Spike Jones, he was like, "Look, I want to do a video for you guys, but I want to do it with this song Drop." He's like, because Beastie Boys is my family, and this is where I came from, and with Ad Rock, he's like, I only want to do it for this song. And he said, here's the idea of what I wanted to do. We're gonna film everything in reverse, and then turn it around. So
Right.
everything is, going backwards. So we had to learn everything in reverse. We had a linguist come out, and he wrote all this stuff on big ass cue cards for us to practice and learn. We had to practice. We practiced so much. We practiced on the plane. We practiced on the train, literally,
Right.
because we had and it was double speed. We had the one at regular speed that we had to learn. Then we had it at one at double speed for like slow motion shit. So we was like absorbing this new language of our lyrics in reverse. And so I feel like if we had one more day of practice, that shit would have been so seamless.
Right.
Because it was like you had to relearn, you know? So it was really beautiful, all the parts of how Drop came together in general, from
Yeah.
Jay Dilla, from Jay Dilla, to us in the studio, and then mixing it down and all the parts and all the people. Uh, I never look at one song like it's just us that did it. I look at it like the community that we hung out with, Tone Loke's crew, Mike Ross, Rick Ross, Delicious Vinyl crew and team. They were always there, and these are folks that were in our lives. We were feeding off of each other to make a great thing. And so Drop came out beautifully.
Right.
We had tons of support. We had a budget to make the ideas come to light.
Right. Talking about videos, the dance style that you guys was doing on on Drop, my fault, on
Yeah,
Drop, and what that was like heavily kind of like house music type of dance style. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
mean, for me, coming from
Okay, okay, got you.
a house music background dancer, to
Mm,
me, that's what I saw.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too b-boyish. It wasn't too hip hop. It was more like, you
Mm,
know,
mm.
um, house music, like really deep
Okay,
underground house type of dance, without
okay.
without any structure. You know what I'm saying? Without
Yep,
any type
yep.
of choreography. Y'all would
That's
jump
how
in.
we.
Yeah.
That's how we grew too. We was
Right.
housers. We was housers, man. For
See. Yeah.
sure. I would, man. You know what, Fresno? I wish you were around during the times when we was doing it, bro. I mean, we got to a point like we didn't give a fuck how our hair looked. We had like sweatpants with shorts over that and knee
Right.
pads under all of that, and we was coming to kill it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was about housing, it was about grooving, it was about what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
man, that part, that spirit, that's what we had to bring to the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what we had to bring to the records. And cause I DJ now, and that's what I want when I'm DJing. I got the floor.
Right.
I'm trying to make them move like the shit that made me move,
Right. Okay.
aggressive. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So, what are you doing these days, man?
Well, what am I doing these days? A lot of DJing.
Okay.
A lot of because the DJing is helping my music production.
Mhm.
The thing about like producing songs is we do it because it's fun to us and it feels good to us and we're making music and whatever. But when it comes to you got to take this music into the clubs and the dance floor, that's a whole nother world. And just because you like your shit, don't mean that it moves the crowd on the dance floor. And it might be a great song,
Right.
and the people that are on the dance floor might love your song. But when it comes to the dance floor and making it move, that's a whole different thing. The texture of the music, the texture of the songs, like those are the things to me is what's gonna move the crowd, get them out their seat, get them going. Like something about it makes it groove. And I think during this era right now of dope beats versus dope MCs,
Right.
because sometimes it's just a dope ass beat, but the rhymes is like whatever. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that groove, and that's what that groove. It's like this the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, man.
yeah, they got us with that groove. But a great song is when the groove and the lyrics complement. That's that hit. So those are the things that as a DJ, I'm trying to. For me, as a DJ, I DJ for texture. So like I might just be DJing. I don't even know what the song. I don't know the lyrics of the song. I don't know shit about the song except that this groove is making the floor move.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, that's dope. Or a certain vocal cut, a clip of the stuff. It's like it's how long, whatever,
Right.
and that's just getting that groove going, and it's making people feel good and happy, and I just love that part of party rocking. I'm a party rock DJ. I'm not like a technical what do you call it, turntablist or nothing like that. But
Turntablist, yeah, battle
yeah,
DJ.
I wish I had that skill, but I'm a party rocker and
Yeah,
I
man.
accept that. You know, I feel like, and I was thinking this morning, I was like, every DJ or whoever calling themselves a DJ, just don't focus on what everybody else is doing, but focus on what you're doing with what your tools that you have. Because I have like a module where I can do like beat making, drum machine shit,
Right.
and DJ at the same time, and that feels good for me. It's like I found my niche, and I just got to work my tool the best I can and rock my parties, you know.
Right.
So, but I love that, and that's what I've been doing for the majority of my life outside of touring. When touring gets back on flow, you know.
How do you feel about, all this, basically the COVID-19 and all that? How is it out there in LA?
Well, shit, I'm in Portland, Oregon now. I'm not even
Oh,
in LA, which
okay.
is kind of similar, but not as hard. LA is, you know, it's been some hard shutdowns in LA. I've heard, you know, my folks is down there, and I'm sure it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. It's it's not easy up here either, and everybody's trying to be careful and stuff like that. And I heard that a lot of cities are going back into a cycle of reshutting down. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I heard.
which is crazy. But we need to get this thing locked down. We really need to get this thing locked down. In a perfect world, the government would do all the right things to postpone like rent
Right.
and mortgages so that we can get through this. Like everybody, just take a time out. Just take a quick time out because there's nothing. If we can't go out to work,
Right.
or it's hard to go out to work. It's a risk, and you know, thank God, like I have a little something to help me get through, but not everybody got that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Motherfucker, I'm been growing vegetables and shit outside because it's like whatever dollar I can pinch to or move around to offset this or that and the other, that's what I have to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the grocery stores and stuff like that have, you can tell they gone up $1 on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that dollar means something. I can't afford that shit. Like I've been like, all right, I can't go to this store no more. I can't go to that store no more. I got to go over here. And then that store went up. And I'm just like, damn, can everybody get on the same page of like, everyone is going through something. We can't afford for shit to go up.
Right.
We can't afford for money things to go higher.
Right.
You know?
I think all that's going on with that is because the trucks are not coming as fast as they used to.
Yeah. Also, yeah,
The
yeah.
delivering trucks. You know.
Yeah, I understand all of that,
Yeah.
man. But a better system would make all of that flow a lot
Right.
better, bro. You know what I'm saying? There could be tax incentives. There could be incentives to, if during these times your company does XYZ, you will get some breaks in the for future, or you know what I mean, or shit waived or whatever. Motherfuckers can do some shit. They just need the right motherfucking steering the goddamn plane and shit. You know what I mean? We don't have to have this much turbulence.
Right.
We don't. And it's like, so, there's levels too. There's the mayor, then there's the governor, and then there's whatever's over top of that, which
Right.
I ain't even thinking about that part because that shit's incompetent and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like if we have to deal with the local people, deal with your community. Your first deal with yourself and your household and your family, then your neighbors, then your community, then the motherfucking mayor, then the motherfucking governor of the state, and then things beyond that. But if we get these little parts all together and work as a unit, man, I don't see why shit has to be as fragile as it fucking turned out to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Definitely.
like help your motherfucking neighbors. That's what we got.
Right.
What we really have is each other. Because when you look to the left and look to the right, you got your neighbor that you got to help up the stairs and help. You know what I mean? You got your elders you got to help out. You got the kids and the kids that play on the streets that you got to help out. Make sure their heads is good, and our heads got to be good, so that we can. Because man, it's so crazy about like kids. Because you got to be in a good space so your kids don't understand that this, like this, we going through this turbulence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we all fearful of some big old crash. You know what I mean? We hoping to get to a space where we can land, any space that we can land at this
Right.
point.
Right.
Not even the destination we was trying to get to, but get
Right.
to some place that's safe that we can land and make the best of where we're at. And without really complaining, we have to make the best of where we at and what we have. Like I cannot look too far in the future right now. I have to, like, first off, give thanks for what the fuck I have, that I ate this morning, that my bills is paid, all this shit. And then, man, what's crazy is out of nowhere, you get a blessing. I got Hawaiian neighbors or Islander neighbors next door. Man, every now and again, I'm back doing some yard work, and they'll be like, "Hey Trey," and I'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then they'll have a big old plate of barbecue just for me and my family, and I'm just like, "What?" That's the universe working with you.
Yeah.
And just hours ago, I might have been worried and complaining about I don't got enough.
Right.
Motherfucking hour later, the neighbors helped me out, and that's that shit that, I don't know. That's that spirit faith or something, man. That's letting us know it's gonna be okay. We like this is a storm. This is a storm, and every storm that has happened, that shit has ended, and it will. All this shit will end,
Right.
and we will get to another space. But it's about what we doing now and all the things that we gotta uproot out. Like this is a big lesson for us all right now. We get to see how our system is broken, real broken. And all we got to do is just take out the weeds. We ain't got to talk bad about nobody. We just got to get them weeds out. Get them weeds out. I don't care what nobody's doing. Just get them weeds out so we can get the soil down again and plant the right seeds, and let the shit work right.
Right.
That shit's very possible. But we got to get them weeds out. Like, fuck, we got to work together, man. This is an atrocity.
Right.
This shit is a fucking atrocity, bro. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. Definitely.
But the crazy thing is, people have seen worse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People have seen worse, and this is like our test and challenge. But I think we can do better, man. It's like if you gotta love other people like you love yourself, or better than you love yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like,
Right on.
what's that say about you if you like lashing out at motherfuckers? Like any new person that you see, y'all should have a new page, a blank page of, you don't know this person, no matter what color they are. You don't know that person. You have the opportunity to make a new friend. You do, or learn a new something from a person. Or I had to learn to like listen to somebody else's side of a story that's opposite of mine, and then show him a better way. You know what I mean? Not to try to make him jump on my bandwagon at all, but I'm like, hey, so look at this part of your situation. Now, does that seem right? Nah, it's not really right. Right. And I ain't judging you about it. But check this out. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's just do all things that fucking make sense. I don't care who. I don't care who. I just want the right ideas, Fresno. I
Yeah.
just want the right ideas. I want the right things, and let's put that. Let's build a road brick by brick with the right ideas. I don't give a fuck who brought it. I don't give a fuck what they believe in and none of that shit. Because the end goal should be everybody looking for the the right solutions, the right solution.
Yeah, man.
I don't give a fuck, man. Like, I might think I have this grand idea and it might work, and everybody has a grand idea. But let's just take the parts of each grand idea and make this one situation solid and push forward with that. I don't need the fucking credit. I just need for the shit to work.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yo,
Definitely, man.
you know what I'm saying?
As far as for, you know, songs that you release for like your solo stuff and new upcoming songs, let us
Yeah.
know.
So as far as my solo stuff is concerned, there's still my Liberation album from back in the day that I put out a while ago, and then like moving more current, I did Slim Kid Trey's Cafe as well, and that was in the past, and then pulling you guys more current, working with DJ Newmark. There's Slim Kid Trey and DJ Newmark album, our first album,
Right.
and then our second album is called Trademark, which is TRDMRK, and that's available on iTunes right now. And in the Trademark crew is one of our cats, Austin Anton. Austin Antoine, he's like a beast, man. And I started working with Austin Antoine through a song called Double Life, double Lief. That's going to be on YouTube as well, like you can hear it. But it's kind of like, it was like LAJ's version of Other Fish Part 2 kind of deal, right? And so that was an introduction of myself and Austin Antoine working together. The first record that I did with DJ Newmark, we had my Bizarre Ride team, K Natural, was on that first album. And the second one was Austin Antoine. So that's that record. And then I had another solo record with my Doodoo Funk All-Star crew, Tony Ozier, the Portland-based team where I did my Monkey Business record. And that was like a solo record that I did. And now, today, we're working on our second Monkey Business album with Tony Ozier. You know what I mean? So working on that. I don't know if it's going to be called Monkey Business or not. I also have an album called Adult Things. And I've been working on that for a couple years, and it's going to be nice and smooth, man. I've been working on a lot. I have a lot of music.
Yeah.
But getting it out is the thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's where I'm in motion right now. I'm like kind of like the quarantine time has opened up. Hey, a time where it's like, hey, let's focus on what you're going to be putting out and focusing on your work. Also with my, I'll be doing some, not necessarily, well, maybe some podcasts or whatever, or just some how-tos for up-and-coming artists on my Patreon page that I'm building right now. And I'm just about to start doing some little interviews and things like that and getting it up so people can know what it's like to perform or how to perform or, creative writing. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. So that's good. I'm giving back. You know what I mean?
Right. Same here, man. Same here.
Exactly.
Just reaching out to some good folks, And again, I'm up, here on the Better Days Show podcast.
Yeah,
Chop it
exactly.
up with cats, and we are music cats, and just to see where people's at, checking up on cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just to
definitely.
give back to the culture, and
Exactly.
and then let them know the new stuff we all got coming, some history,
Yeah,
and
keep it alive.
keep
Keeping
it,
it
yeah,
alive.
keep it alive, yeah.
Other than that, it's like, I have my DJ, like out here in Portland, I have a lot of DJ parties that I do. My current party is called the Throwback PDX, which is, self-explanatory. But we hold that at the liquor store, this place called the liquor store. And we've been holding it down pretty tough. There's another community, a lifestyle community, which I have my Body Heat X parties that I throw, and that's just for like the lifestylers and like the alternative alternative sex club world kind of deal that I do for that. And what else do I do? Other local parties, I had a party called Live and Direct that was really massive out here in Portland, but I've been, just shifting around, finding my footing. I think I have to be a part of cultural movements.
Right.
Because we're tastemakers, and we have to be a part of that. So I'm like kind of knee deep in all of this area of things because I want to, when I go out to parties and clubs like that, I need shit to have some flavor, man.
Right.
And what better way to do it is to I I take notes from the Rich Medinas. I take notes from the, Macios. I take notes from all my DJ forefathers, from you. You know what I mean? From C Brown, DJ C Brown, DJ Newmark, DJ Mark Love. I've come a long way, man, and I'm paying attention to those cats that's holding the heat in the dance floor. DJ Mark the Spot, DJ Tendaji, because when I used to DJ at where was it? Green Light in Los Angeles. It was a learning. It was a serious learning curve. And once I got it, it's like I have to be a part of making parties happen.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And finding my niche, finding my way, and that's what's up. So that's clearly about it. Because I know at my age, you should only do what you love to do, bro, and make money doing it.
Right.
That is the advice that I would have to give.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
For folks in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about if I'm gonna go back to do my regular job. I have to think about that. After this COVID-19.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the prod. That's where I'm at pretty much.
Yeah.
As far as that go.
Well, look, I'm going to say to you, look at it as a bridge, bro. If you got to go back for a moment, because it might just be a moment where you got to go back. So what? Just do the best that you can. Okay. Just do your best, bro. Because when that door opened up again for us to get back on what we was getting on, yo, it's going to be, because, man, I remember like a lot of downtime, because some of my downtime was touring with Ozo Motley. You know what I'm saying? And that was a good bridge. That was a bridge before the Pharcyde's regrouping for Rock the Bells. And when we regrouped from Rock the Bells, we thought we was going to keep going as Pharcyde, and then that kind of fizzled a little bit. But, hopefully something will come around again. Who knows?
Right.
But, yeah, go ahead.
No, since we're talking about, on the road and stuff, I was going to ask you about the Bazaar Ride.
Tour. Yeah.
Tour that
the Bazaar Ride tour. Yeah, so my Bazaar Ride team is pretty much myself, K Natural, LAJ, J Swift. Sometimes we have other DJs, jump in. DJ Tim from Germany, DJ Wondercut. I have a Fat and Slim shit too, because Fat Lip was usually with us with Bazaar Ride, but sometimes he don't want to do it, and so I created with him the Fat and Slim show, so we do that as well. So when I'm working with Fat Lip, I do the Fat and Slim show. When I'm working with the Bazaar Ride stuff, which is really magical, I work with that's where my heart is. I'm gonna just say that, man. I love my Bazaar Ride team because it's all the right parts. Right. We got LAJ and J Swift on the beats, and K-Nat on the beats too. We got K-Nat is such an amazing and thorough MC, and it helps me to keep my chops up. You got me. Man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because usually when you come out to New York, for your shows and stuff, we usually link up.
Definitely.
Remember, I will come on the tour bus.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? You always hit me up like Matt, so I'm here.
I know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And recently you guys had a show at SOBs, right?
Yeah, we did.
What's that? And I missed that. I forgot.
I think that was
a Fat Lip?
That was a Fat and Slim show.
Right.
Yeah, which was nice. It was good. It was cool. We had a good time, man.
Yeah, I missed that, man.
It was good, man.
I'm not sure what I was doing, but I wanted to, surprise you.
I wish you was there, man.
Yeah, I missed
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that show.
I think Funk Flex came and did some shit too. He DJ'd before we went on and stuff. He's like, "Oh, Pharcyde's gonna be there. I gotta be there."
Yeah,
and he did. He killed it. Of course, you know what I'm saying?
That's one of my favorite DJ, man. Still.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's what's up. I love DJing. I love watching DJs DJ. The good part about watching other DJs DJ is they got gems that they drop in. You know, my boys out here, Rev Shines is a dope DJ. DJ Nature's a dope DJ. Man, there's so many dope DJs
Yeah,
out here.
y'all got some dope DJs out
I,
there.
I like when other DJ, like I like being around because it's like, oh man, that's a heater too.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know about